The notification lit up my screen at 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was sitting in my apartment, halfway through a sandwich I didn't want, staring at nothing. Work had been slow. Life had been slower. Then my phone buzzed. Instagram. A post from my cousin Maeve. I almost scrolled past it. Almost. But then I saw the white dress. My thumb froze mid-swipe. The image loaded fully Lila in a wedding gown, arms wrapped around some guy in a navy suit, both of them smiling like they'd just won the lottery. The caption read, "Forever begins today. Forever begins today." My brain stuttered, replayed the words, tried to make them make sense. Lila, my sister, getting married. And I didn't know. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. I tapped the photo. Comments flooded beneath it. Congratulations from aunts I hadn't spoken to in years. Heart emojis from friends we grew up with. Everyone knew. Everyone was there. Except me. I scrolled through her profile with shaking hands. More photos. The venue decorated in blush pink and gold. Tables set with flowers I couldn't name. Guests laughing, clinking glasses, dancing. My mother in a lavender dress, dabbing her eyes. My father in a suit I'd never seen before. Not one picture of me. Because I wasn't there. Because I wasn't invited. My chest tightened. I set the phone down, picked it up again, set it down. My hands didn't know what to do. My mind didn't either. How does this happen? How does your sister get married and not tell you? We weren't estranged. We texted sometimes, sent memes, liked each other's posts. Sure, we hadn't been close in a while, but close enough for a wedding invitation, close enough for a heads up, close enough for something. I called her, straight to voicemail. Called again, voicemail. Texted, "Lila, what the hell?" No response. I opened Facebook. More posts, more congratulations. My Aunt Rosa had shared a video, Lila walking down the aisle, arm in arm with Dad. The music swelled. People stood. She glowed. And I felt nothing but cold. I tried my mother next. She picked up on the fourth ring. "Hey, sweetheart. Why wasn't I invited?" Silence. Not the "oh, I didn't hear you" kind. The "I was hoping you wouldn't ask" kind. "Mom," she sighed. Long and tired. "It's complicated." Complicated. Her favorite word. The one she used when she didn't want to explain. When the truth was messy and she didn't want to clean it up. Complicated how? Lila felt it was best if I didn't come to her wedding? Another pause. She didn't want any tension. You know how things have been. I didn't know. I thought things were fine. Distant, maybe. But fine. She's my sister. I know, honey. But it was her day. Her choice. Her choice. The words sat heavy in my stomach. I hung up without saying goodbye. For hours, I sat there, scrolling, refreshing, watching strangers celebrate a moment I should have been part of. My phone buzzed with texts from cousins, friends, people asking if I'd seen the posts. Each message twisted the knife a little deeper. By midnight, I couldn't look anymore. But I couldn't stop either. I stared at the photo of Lila and the groom Cole, according to the tags, and something about his face felt familiar. Too familiar. Then it hit me. I knew him. And suddenly, everything made sense. Cole Brennan. The name rattled around my skull like a bullet. I zoomed in on the photo. His jawline. Those eyes. The crooked smile that used to make my knees weak. 3 years ago, he was mine. Or I thought he was. We met at a bar downtown. He bought me a drink. We talked until closing. He kissed me in the rain outside, hands tangled in my hair, promising me things that felt real. For 6 months, we were inseparable. Then one day, he vanished. Blocked my number. Ghosted me completely. No explanation, no closure, just gone. I cried for weeks. Lila held me through it. Brought me ice cream. Let me rant about how men were trash. And now she married him. My hands shook. I called her again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. I texted, "You married Cole? My Cole?" Nothing. I tried Mom again. She didn't pick up. Aunt Rosa? Declined. Everyone knew. Everyone stayed quiet. I couldn't breathe. My apartment felt too small. The walls pressed in. I grabbed my keys, my jacket, and drove. Nowhere specific. Just away. The city blurred past. Streetlights smeared into orange streaks. My mind replayed every moment every time Lila asked about my exes, every time she seemed too interested in Cole's name, every time she changed the subject when I mentioned him. She knew. She knew the whole time. I pulled over at a gas station. Sat in the parking lot with the engine running. My phone buzzed. A text from my cousin Maeve. "You okay? Saw you weren't there." I typed back. "Did you know she was marrying my ex?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. "I thought you knew. I'm sorry." Everyone thought I knew, which meant Lila told them I was fine with it. That we'd talked. That I gave my blessing. Lies. All lies. I drove to my parents' house. The porch light was on. Dad's truck sat in the driveway. I knocked. Hard. Mom opened the door, still in her lavender dress. Her face fell when she saw me. "Sweetheart." "Why?" She stepped aside. "Let me in." The house smelled like coffee and regret. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where we used to do homework, where Lila and I fought over the last cookie, where everything felt simple. "She didn't tell you about Cole?" Mom asked quietly. "No." Mom closed her eyes. "She was afraid you'd be upset. So she didn't invite me instead? She thought it would be easier." "Easier for who?" Mom didn't answer. I leaned back, stared at the ceiling. How long have they been together? 2 years. 2 years. While I was trying to move on, trying to forget him, Lila was building a life with the man who broke me. Did she ever feel guilty? Mom's silence was answer enough. I stood. "I need to go." Wait, but I was already out the door. Back in my car, I scrolled through Lila's Instagram again. Every photo of them, every caption, every smile, and in the back of my mind, one question burned louder than the rest. Did he ever tell her about me? Or did she know from the start and just didn't care? I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them, happy, together, married, while I was erased. By morning, my phone had blown up. More posts, more videos, everyone sharing their favorite moments from the wedding. Then one notification stopped me cold. A video, uploaded by someone named @truthseeker88. The caption, "Wait for it." I clicked. The video started normal. Lila and Cole at the altar, vows exchanged, cheers erupting. Then the camera panned, and everything changed. I grabbed my keys before I could think. The drive to Lila's house took 20 minutes, felt like 2. My knuckles were white on the steering wheel. My chest burned. I needed answers. Needed to see her face when I asked why. Why him? Why the lies? Why cut me out? The house sat at the end of a quiet street. White picket fence, flower beds. The kind of place that screamed happily ever after. I parked 3 houses down, walked closer. Music drifted from the backyard. Laughter, glasses clinking. The reception was still going. I stopped at the gate. Through the wooden slats, I could see everything. String lights hung between trees, tables covered in white cloth, guests dancing on a makeshift floor. And there she was, Lila, in her wedding dress, spinning in Cole's arms, her head thrown back, laughing. He whispered something in her ear. She blushed. They looked perfect, like a movie scene, like nothing bad had ever happened between us. I should have walked up, confronted her, demanded she explain, but my feet wouldn't move, because part of me already knew, the part I'd been ignoring for years. Lila always wanted what I had, my clothes, my friends, my life, and now my ex. I watched Cole dip her, watched everyone cheer, watched my mother smile from a corner table, wine glass in hand. No one looked guilty. No one looked like they'd done anything wrong. Maybe they didn't think they had. My phone buzzed. A text from my friend Sienna. "Are you seeing this?" A link followed. I clicked. Twitter. The video was everywhere. Retweets in the thousands. Comments flooding in. Did he just? Someone call the cops. This is insane. I pressed play. The video started at the reception. Cole and Lila standing by the cake, smiling, posing for photos. Then someone said something off camera. I couldn't hear what, but Cole's face changed. He turned to Lila, said something low. Her smile faltered. He grabbed her wrist. She pulled back, and then he slapped her. Not a push, not a shove. A slap. Hard enough that her head snapped to the side. Gasps erupted. Someone screamed. The camera shook. Lila stood frozen, hand on her cheek, tears streaming. Cole's face twisted. He shouted something, pointed at her. Then the video cut. I stood there, staring at my screen. The same man who ghosted me, who my sister married anyway, just hit her in front of everyone. My stomach turned. I looked back through the fence. The music had stopped. Guests were leaving in clusters. Whispers carried on the wind. Cole stood alone near the house, hands in his pockets, face blank. Lila was gone. I should have felt vindicated. Should have thought she deserved it for stealing him. But I didn't. I just felt sick. I walked back to my car, sat in the driver's seat, watched as more guests left. As the lights went out one by one, my phone kept buzzing, the video spreading. Millions of views already. Everyone would see this. Everyone would know. And somehow, I was still on the outside. If you're feeling this tension right now, wait until you see what happens next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the moment everything explodes. And drop a comment, would you have gone to that wedding? Let me know below. Still invisible. I drove home in silence. Didn't sleep. Just stared at the ceiling, replaying the slap. Over and over. By morning, the video had gone viral. News outlets picked it up. Think pieces flooded Twitter. Everyone had an opinion. But no one asked me. No one knew I existed. Until 2 days later, when Lila showed up at my door. The video hit 10 million views in 6 hours. I watched the number climb from my couch. Refresh. 15 million. Refresh. 20 million. My phone exploded with notifications. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years suddenly remembered I existed. Is that your sister? Holy shit, did you see this? Are you okay? I wasn't okay, but I couldn't look away. The video was everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit threads dissecting every frame, YouTube commentary channels making hour-long breakdowns. Everyone had a theory. He's abusive. She probably deserved it. This is staged for attention. Someone needs to check on her. The comment section was a war zone. People arguing, people defending, people making jokes. My sister's worst moment turned into entertainment. I found the original upload, some guest named at Truthseeker88, anonymous account, no other posts, just that one video. Posted 2 hours after the wedding ended, the caption, "When forever doesn't even last through the reception." 30 million views now. News outlets started calling it the wedding slap heard round the world. Morning shows played it on loop, blurred Lila's face but kept the audio. That sharp crack, her gasp, the collective shock from the guests. I muted my TV, but I could still hear it. My phone rang. "Mom," I answered. "Have you talked to Lila?" Her voice cracked. "No. She's not answering. Your father and I went to the house. She won't open the door." "Good," I almost said. Let her sit with it. But I didn't, because despite everything, hearing Mom cry made my chest ache. "Where's Cole?" "I don't know. His car's gone. I think he left. Left, like he always did." "Someone needs to check on her," Mom said. "She's alone. She chose to be alone. She chose him." Silence. "Please," Mom whispered. "She's still your sister." I hung up. But the words stuck. "She's still your sister." I opened Instagram. Lila's account was private now. Comments disabled. But her last post, the wedding photo, had 60,000 comments before she locked it. I scrolled through them. Most were brutal. "You married a monster. How didn't you see the red flags? This is why you don't marry for looks." Some were supportive. "I hope you're safe. Leave him. We're here for you." But most were just cruel. People who didn't know her, didn't care, just wanted to pile on. My phone buzzed. A text from Aunt Rosa. "The video is on the news. Channel 7. They're calling for interviews." I turned the TV back on. Sure enough, Lila's wedding playing on a loop. A panel of experts debating domestic violence. A lawyer explaining assault charges. Cole's face plastered everywhere. His name trending. Then they showed Lila. Zoomed in on her face right after the slap. Froze the frame on her tears. 40 million views. My phone rang again. "Unknown number." I answered. "Is this Lila's sister?" A reporter, asking for a statement, asking if I'd do an interview. I hung up. 3 more calls. All reporters. I blocked them. By nightfall, the video hit 60 million. Cole's employer released a statement. He was fired. His friends abandoned him online. His Instagram deleted. Justice, people called it. But Lila was still alone in that house. And I was still here, on my couch, watching her life fall apart in real time. My phone buzzed one more time. A text from a number I didn't recognize. Please, I need to talk. Then a second message. It's me, Lila. I stared at the text for 5 minutes. Didn't reply. What was I supposed to say? That I was sorry? That I cared? I didn't know if I did anymore. Another text came through. I know you hate me, but I have nowhere else to go. I threw my phone on the couch, walked to the kitchen, poured water I didn't drink. She had Mom, Dad, Aunt Rosa, a whole wedding full of people who celebrated her. Why me? A knock at the door made me jump. I stood frozen, holding my glass. Another knock. Softer this time. I walked over, looked through the peephole. Lila, hair tangled, makeup smeared down her cheeks, still in her wedding dress. She looked destroyed. I should have walked away, should have let her stand there, but my hand turned the lock. The door opened. We stared at each other. She looked smaller than I remembered, fragile. I didn't know where else to go, she whispered. I stepped aside. She walked in. We sat in my living room, her on the couch, me in the chair across from her. Silence stretched between us, heavy and sharp. She picked at her nails, wouldn't look at me. You hate me, she finally said. I didn't answer. You should. I hate me too. Why'd you come here? She looked up, eyes red and swollen. Because you're the only one who won't lie to me. I don't owe you anything. I know. More silence. You were right about him, she said quietly. About Cole? She nodded. You said he was charming, that he made you feel special. Then he just disappeared. And you married him anyway. Her face crumpled. I thought I could fix him. I thought if I loved him enough. That's not how people work, Lila. I know that now. I leaned back, studied her. The dress, the tears. The girl who used to steal my clothes and my secrets. When did it start? You and him. She hesitated. A year after you broke up. I didn't break up with him. He ghosted me. I know. He told me everything. Said you were too clingy, too much. The words hit like a slap. And you believed him? I wanted to. It made it easier. Easier to what? Betray me? She flinched. I didn't think you'd find out. You didn't invite me to your wedding, Lila. You made sure I wouldn't. I was protecting myself. From what? From you telling me the truth. That I was making a mistake. That he'd hurt me too. Her voice broke. I wanted to yell. To scream. To throw her out. But I just sat there. Because she was right. I would have told her. Would have warned her. And she would have married him anyway. He hit you, I said quietly. She touched her cheek. The bruise was fading but still visible. It wasn't the first time. My stomach dropped. How long? 6 months, maybe more. I lost track. And you stayed. I thought marriage would change him. I thought. She stopped, wiped her eyes. I thought I deserved it. For the first time since she walked in, I felt something other than anger. Okay, real talk, are you? Team forgiveness or team never speak again? Comment below because this is about to get even messier. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This story's just getting started. Pity. Why didn't you leave? I asked. She stared at her hands. I kept thinking it would get better. That if I just tried harder. That's what they all say. I know how it sounds. Do you? She looked up. He told me you were obsessed with him. That you stalked him after the breakup. That's why he blocked you. My jaw clenched. And you believed that too? He showed me texts, screenshots. Said you wouldn't leave him alone. I sent 3 messages asking why he disappeared. 3. I know that now. When did you figure it out? She swallowed hard. When he started saying the same things about me. That I was crazy, obsessive, that I pushed him to hit me. The room felt colder. He isolated me, she continued. Told me you were jealous. That Mom and Dad liked him more than they liked you. That inviting you would ruin everything. So you cut me out. I cut everyone out. He made me choose. Him or you. Him or my friends. Him or my life. And you chose him every time. She nodded, tears streaming now. I thought love was supposed to hurt. That fighting meant we cared. He said couples who don't fight aren't real. That's not love, Lila. That's control. I see that now. I stood, paced, my chest tight. The video, I said. Everyone saw it. Why'd he do it in front of everyone? I told him I wanted to leave. Right before we cut the cake, I said I couldn't do this anymore. And he snapped. He said I was embarrassing him, that I owed him this day, that I'd already taken his money, his time, his life. Jesus. I didn't think he'd actually... Her voice cracked. Not in front of everyone. I sat back down, looked at her. Really looked. The girl who stole my clothes. My friends. My ex. She wasn't a villain. She was a victim. Just like I'd been. Where is he now? I don't know. He left right after. His parents came. Took him somewhere. Everyone scattered. Good. The video's everywhere, she whispered. People are calling me stupid. Saying I deserved it. That I should have known. You didn't deserve it. Didn't I? I took your ex. I lied to you. I pushed you away. That doesn't mean you deserve to get hit. She broke down. Full sobs now. I didn't move. Didn't comfort her. But I didn't leave either. Can I stay here tonight? She asked through tears. Just tonight. I'll figure something out tomorrow. I thought about saying no. About making her feel what I felt. Rejected. Alone. Unwanted. But I couldn't. One night. She nodded. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. We're not okay, Lila. Not even. Clothes. I know. But you can stay. She curled up on the couch, still in that dress, and I went to my room wondering if forgiveness was even possible. She stayed longer than one night. 3 days turned into a week. Week turned into 2. We didn't talk much at first. Just existed in the same space. She slept on the couch. I brought her clothes. Food. Silence. The video kept spreading. 50 million views. 70. 100. Cole's face was everywhere. Memes. Commentary videos. Think pieces about toxic masculinity. Lila deleted all her social media. Cut her hair short. Stopped wearing makeup. She looked different. Moved different. Like she was trying to shed her old skin. One evening, rain tapped against the windows. I made tea. Set a cup in front of her. She wrapped her hands around it but didn't drink. I need to tell you something, she said. I sat down across from her. The reason I didn't invite you. The real reason. I'm listening. She took a breath. Cole said if you came, he'd leave. That he couldn't marry me knowing you were watching. That it would remind him of his biggest mistake. Mistake? Leaving you. He said ghosting you was the worst thing he'd ever done. That he thought about you constantly. My stomach twisted. He was still in love with you, she continued. Even while we were together. Even when he proposed. He'd say your name in his sleep. Stop. You deserve to know. I don't want to know that. I stayed because I thought I could make him forget you. That's why I pushed you away. Because as long as you existed, I'd never be enough. The rain got louder. You were competing with a ghost, I said quietly. I was. And I lost anyway. We sat there, thunder rolling in the distance. I saw the signs, she whispered. The way he'd grip my arm too tight. How he'd check my phone. The names he'd call me when we fought. I saw everything. Then why marry him? Because admitting I was wrong meant admitting. You were right. About him. About everything. And I couldn't do that. Pride. Pride, she agreed. And fear. I was terrified of being alone. Of everyone knowing I failed. So you went through with it. I thought the wedding would fix us. That once we were married, he'd change. We'd be happy. That's not how it works. I know that now. More silence. Comfortable this time. Do you hate me? She asked. I thought about it. Really thought. No, I don't think I do anymore. Why not? Because hating you won't change what happened. And you're punishing yourself enough. Her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, she said. For everything. For Cole. For the lies. For pushing you away. I know. Can you forgive me? I looked at her. This broken version of my sister. Not yet, but maybe someday. She nodded. That's more than I deserve. Probably. We both smiled. Small, sad, but real. Outside, the rain stopped, and for the first time in weeks, the silence didn't feel heavy. It felt like healing. If this story is hitting different, smash that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to see how this ends. And comment, healing, if you think these sisters can actually come back from this. I'm reading every single one. The video wouldn't die. 2 months later and it still circulated. reaction videos, analysis breakdowns, true crime podcasts dissecting every second. Lila tried to ignore it, but reminders appeared everywhere. At the grocery store, someone recognized her, whispered to their friend, pointed. She left the cart, walked out, didn't go back for days. I started doing the shopping, running errands, being the buffer between her and the world. One afternoon, my phone buzzed, a news alert. Cole Brennan arrested on domestic violence charges. I showed Lila. Her face went pale. Then something else. Relief, maybe. 3 other women came forward, I read aloud, claiming abuse, restraining orders filed. 3? Before you, he, had a pattern. She sat down hard. I wasn't special. I was just next in line. You were a target. There's a difference. She stared at the article. His mugshot. That same face that promised her forever. Did he do this to you? She asked quietly. No. He just vanished. Maybe I got lucky. Or maybe you dodged what I couldn't. We sat with that truth. Over the next weeks, more details emerged. Cole's history laid bare. Arrests, complaints. Women who tried to warn others but were ignored. Lila read every article, every testimony, absorbed every story like penance. They all sound like me, she said one night. The same excuses, the same hope that he'd change. It's not your fault, isn't it? I ignored everyone. Mom, Dad, you. I chose him. He manipulated you. I let him. That's not how manipulation works, Lila. She looked at me, eyes tired. When does it stop being his fault and start being mine? It doesn't. You didn't make him hit you. You didn't make him lie. That was all him. But I stayed. Because he made you believe you couldn't leave. That's what abusers do. She cried. Not the loud sobs from before. Just quiet tears. I moved to the couch, sat beside her. First time I'd done that since she arrived. I blamed myself too, I said, when he ghosted me. Thought I was too much, too needy, that I pushed him away. You didn't. I know that now. Took me years to see it. She leaned her head on my shoulder. How do you stop feeling stupid? You don't. You just start feeling other things too. We watched the rain outside, a new storm rolling in. The trial's in 3 months, she said. They want me to testify. Will you? I don't know. Everyone will see me again, hear my voice, know my story. They already do. This time it'll be real. Not just a viral video. Real testimony. Real consequences. You don't have to. I think I do. For the other women. For myself. I squeezed her hand. Then I'll be there. She looked at me, surprised. You will? You're my sister. Even when I hated you. Even when I wanted to forget you existed. You're still my sister. She cried again. But this time, I cried too. The trial date approached like a storm cloud. Lila practiced her testimony, over and over, in front of the mirror, in front of me, her voice shaking every time. He grabbed my wrist. He told me I was worthless. He hit me. Simple words, but they felt like pulling teeth. One evening, she stopped mid-sentence, looked at me. Do you forgive me? I set down my coffee. What? For everything. Cole, the wedding, cutting you out. Do you forgive me? I thought about lying, saying yes to make it easier, but she asked for truth. Not yet. She nodded slowly. Okay. But I'm trying. That's something. Show me you've learned. Show me this wasn't just about needing a place to stay. How? Be honest. Be present. Be the sister you should have been. She wiped her eyes. I can do that. And she tried. She started therapy. Twice a week. Came home drained but lighter somehow. She got a job at a bookstore. Something small. Something hers. She called Mom. Rebuilt that bridge slowly. Dad too. But with me, she was careful. Respectful of space. Asked before assuming. Can I borrow this? Is it okay if I stay another month? Do you want to talk or should I leave you alone? Small questions. But they mattered. We started talking. Really talking. Not about Cole. Not about the wedding. About childhood. About dreams we forgot. Mistakes we made. Remember when you pushed me off the swing? I asked one night. She laughed. You told Mom I did it on purpose. You did. I know. I was jealous. You were always braver. I wasn't brave. I was reckless. Same thing when you're 8. We smiled. Remembering easier times. I used to steal your clothes. she admitted. I know. I let you. Why? Because you looked up to me. Made me feel important. You were important. I just forgot to tell you. These moments stacked up. Small bricks rebuilding what broke. But some nights were hard. She'd wake up screaming. Nightmares about Cole. About the wedding. About hands around her throat. I'd sit with her. Bring water. Wait until her breathing slowed. I'm sorry, she'd whisper. Don't be. I'm broken. You're healing. There's a difference. 1 month before the trial, she asked again. Do you forgive me? I looked at her. This version of my sister. Scarred but standing. I'm getting there. Not yet? Not completely, but closer. She smiled. Sad but genuine. That's enough. Is it? It has to be. I can't erase what I did. Can't rewind time. I can only move forward. Then move forward. With you? I hesitated. Old wounds still ached. Old anger still simmered. But she was trying. And maybe that was enough. Yeah. With me. She hugged me. Tight and desperate. I hugged back. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But something close. Something like hope. The night before the trial, we sat on the balcony. Stars out. City quiet. I'm scared, she said. Me too. What if I freeze? What if I can't say the words? Then I'll be there, front row, reminding you that you're stronger than him. She squeezed my hand. Thank you. For not giving up on me. You're my sister. Even when you're a pain in my ass. She laughed, real and genuine. And for the first time in months, we felt like sisters again. The courtroom smelled like old wood and fear. Lila sat in the witness box, hands trembling, voice barely audible. Cole stared at her from across the room. That same face, those same eyes, but emptier now. She told her story. Every detail, every slap, every manipulation, every lie. The defense tried to break her, called her dramatic, suggested she exaggerated, but she didn't break. When they showed the video, the courtroom went silent, that slap echoing through speakers. Jurors looked away, some cried. Cole showed nothing. 3 weeks later, the verdict came. Guilty, 2 years in prison, restraining order, mandatory counseling. Not enough, but something. Lila stood outside the courthouse. Reporters swarmed. Cameras flashed. I pulled her away, got her to my car. We drove in silence. It's over, she finally said. Yeah. Why doesn't it feel like closure? Because closure's a myth. You just learn to live with what happened. She nodded, stared out the window. Months passed. Life found a rhythm. Lila moved into her own apartment, small but hers, painted the walls yellow, bought plants she actually watered. She kept therapy, kept the job, kept building herself back. We had dinner every Tuesday. Sometimes we talked. Sometimes we just existed together. The video still lived online, forever immortalized. Comments still came, but fewer now. The internet moved on to the next scandal. One afternoon, I went to a park, saw a small wedding happening. No cameras, just love and laughter. I smiled, took a photo, sent it to Lila. She replied, "That's what it should have been. Maybe next time." If there is a next time. There will be, when you're ready. With someone who deserves you, maybe. That night, I opened my laptop, found the original video, still sitting at 150 million views. I scrolled through comments, found mine from months ago. I'd written, "Sometimes love looks like blindness until it hurts enough to open your eyes." 3,000 likes, hundreds of replies, people sharing their stories, their escapes, their survival. The video destroyed Lila's life, but it saved others, women who saw themselves in her, who recognized the signs, who left before it got worse. Maybe that was something. I closed the laptop. Rain started outside, gentle this time. Not a storm, just cleansing. My phone buzzed. "Lila, thank you, for everything, for being my sister when I didn't deserve one." I typed back, "You always deserved one. You just..." I forgot for a while. I won't forget again. Good. I set the phone down, looked out at the rain. Forgiveness wasn't a switch. Wasn't one moment or one conversation. It was this. Tuesday's dinners, honest conversations, showing up even when it hurt. We weren't perfect, weren't fixed, but we were here, together, moving forward. The video would always exist, The scars would always remain, but so would we. And sometimes, that's enough. Sometimes survival is the victory. The rain stopped. Silence settled. Peace. Not complete, not perfect. Just peace. And for now, that was everything. If this story made you feel something: anger, sadness, hope, leave a comment telling me which moment hit hardest. And subscribe, because I've got more stories like this coming that'll have you glued to your screen. Thank you for watching till the end. You're the real ones.